So, first off, I'm pretty sure everybody here is invited to the wedding. That's a good thing. So for this cheers, I'm gonna tell 3 stories. The first story is how Lori seduced me. The second story is about some of the advice I've been getting as far as marriage goes, which is fairly interesting. And the third story is how much I love Lori that I almost, I wouldn't say I almost died, but... Okay, so I'm going to try to tell these stories quick, okay? First story, how me and Lori met, or how me and Lori actually went out on our first date.
How she seduced you, actually.
Yeah, how she seduced you, yeah. That's all right. So we went bowling, and I'm going to mention a couple people here because they were a part of this. So Amanda and Nihil, this is kind of how me and Lori know each other, right? So for those of you that don't know, these are very good friends of mine, and Lori's as well. And
did you use your balls?
But I bought her a ball later. Bad joke. So, Jesus.
I wish I could ice you.
We're never going to get through this story. So what ended up happening is we went bowling one night, and I didn't know Lori was single. So what ended up happening is we go bowling, and we're with another group of, there's some guys there and a couple girls, and I was like, Jesus, Lori's, yeah, well, no, that wasn't the first time. This was when we were with some other people. And so, and then, yeah, there we go. And so we went bowling, and I left a little early because there was just too many guys there for me. So about 2 weeks later, so Lori calls me, and she goes, "You want to go bowling, right?" And I'm thinking, okay, it's going to be the same crowd, and there's going to be a bunch of people. And so I go there, and I actually hadn't shaven that day. I don't even know if I came in sweats, I think. And actually, Sarah was there. She was bowling with some of her coworkers. And what ends up happening is, it's just me and Lori, right? And I'm like, oh.
And the wingman?
Well, she was on another lane, though. She was on another lane. And so that's actually how me and Lori went on our first date, because I actually challenged Lori in bowling, and she didn't know, but I have... titles from she lost because I have titles from when I was young for bowling. Which
I found out later.
So that was our first date. Was basically a bet, and that was our first date with Lori. So now everybody knows the short version of that story.
So she asked you out.
She basically asked me out. It was, So second story. I was going to tell this version, we kind of discussed it, and I was not going to tell the full version, but I find it interesting that the advice you get when people find out you're getting married, right? And so you can be anywhere, and you're like, oh, I'm engaged, and you know, and I'm excited, and blah, blah, and people are like, oh, I got some advice for you. And the advice always starts from like the top down, you know, enjoy each other, have fun, don't argue. And then it gets into this, and I feel like it's directed right towards me. And it's like, you know what, just wave the white flag. Give up. Don't talk too much.
That's what Bob does.
And the last one is she's always right, and that's true. So
It's true.
So I'm fast forwarding through all this because I don't want to. So the third story is actually I'm allergic to fish. I'm allergic to the fish that actually swims, right? And me and Lori go on our first date, and what ends up happening is, so there's shellfish, right? People are allergic to shellfish. We go on our first date, or it's one of our first dates, and Lori, we went to this restaurant. Lori wanted to order like a small meal, and I was like, no, order the salmon. You love salmon, right? Like, order the salmon.
But it was really expensive, and I was like, no, I think I'm just going to get the salad. And he's like, get the salmon. And I'm like, okay, only if you're going to share it with me. He goes, yeah, I'll share it with you. I'm like, okay. So I get it. And it comes out, and it's a beautiful piece of salmon. Like, the edges are, like, crisp from being broiled. And the corner, like, a really good piece. And I'm like, here you go, open up. And he's like, no, not that big, not that big. I'm like, no, this is like a really good piece. Down the hatch.
So it hits my mouth, and I'm like, oh Jesus.
I must really like this girl.
And I basically, instantly, I was like, this is going to be a bad reaction. I just didn't know how far it would go. And we were going to the movies that night. And when we're on our way to the movies, I'm like, do you mind if we go by Walgreens?
And I thought it was to get like candy and like stuff.
And I'm like, we
Benadryl.
need Benadryl. So that's story number 3. So just to give you a little insight on our relationship. So before we go any further, we want to thank everybody for coming. There's a couple people that came from out of town, which we kind of want to throw their names out there, and a couple people that helped. Stella and Jim came from out of town. My buddy Caleb came from Vegas. And
Santa Barbara.
my dad actually made his way out from Hawaii. So we want to thank everybody for kind of making it out. It is a special day for us, and we appreciate that everybody got together today. And then a couple big thank yous. Fran and Bob have put a lot of effort into this day. Fran in particular has spent a lot of time in all the details. I hate details. I'd rather do things at the last minute. And so I figure everything just falls into place. And she did a great job today with all the, from the orchids on the table to the, the details that you see with the cards and your, and the food you're eating on them or what they need to look at. So I think she did a great job. So I think she deserves a round of applause. And then I'm going to go to kind of my family side of things. And actually, don't let me forget that Stella and Winnie did a great job today in actually helping set up everything. And also Lynette, just helping set up everything and get ready for today.
Yeah, I put gas in the car.
Yeah. Don't worry, your part's coming in a second. So, and then I'm going to thank my family from this side of things. My grandma and my mom put a lot of hard work today. You guys are going to have some great desserts. We love you guys very much. And Mike as well. And where's my sister? And there's my sister and my brother's over there. So, you guys made today very special. It's interesting to see how excited everybody is for an event like this. And they're probably more excited, to be honest, more than we are. And so it's just interesting to see the energy behind it and everything. It's actually really fun. And then but last but not least here, there's 2 big birthdays coming up. First is Lori's uncle Jim. I don't know how old he's turning, but he looks like he's 30. And next is Bob. And all of you know Bob. We all love Bob, right? So we call him Uncle Bob. And he has a big birthday coming up on Monday. So we wanted to say thank you for everything. Thank you for coming from Vegas. And we love you, Bob. And we want to sing a little happy birthday. From the top.
Just enough.
Jim, come on up here.
One each.
Happy
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bob. Happy birthday to you.
Don't fall over, Bob.